Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you on this lovely day? Let's make a journal today. So today we are going to make a box journal. So I already have my box almost prepared. As you can see, it's just a cereal box, but I've cut it down to size. And because, you know, they're so colorful on the outside, I had to cover the outside, and this is just a piece of printer paper, and I covered it and glued it, and then I put it under two heavy books, and it laid like this all night long under the heavy books, so that I knew that this paper was glued down very well, and it wasn't going to buckle when I put my fabric on it, and it laid nice and flat. And then, oh darn, I forgot to, no, there they are. And then I've already punched my holes for the spine. Now, for my spine, one of the flaps, you know how cereal boxes have those flaps? When I trimmed it, I saved the flaps. So one of the flaps I glued down the center to help with this, to help with my wiggle right here. Now, I know this is still going to have some wiggle. It's a box. And I kind of like that in box journals. I like that wiggle because it allows me to add as much as I want on the inside, and not, you know, not pooch or not give me that gator mouth that doesn't expand. So on a box journal that gives me this, I don't mind. On a book that's very firm, it just continues to gator mouth. On a box journal that wiggles, it allows it to gator mouth a little easier because it expands a little easier. And as you can see, right here is where my spine is. I moved the holes for my signatures in. I don't know if you can see that very well. I moved the holes for my signatures in a little bit to allow them to expand even more. So they're not right up against that spine crease. They're in a little bit. So as I add to them, the book can flow a little bit better. So I thought, I'll just show everybody how I cover my box journals. And this is actually going to be the one that's for our giveaway. And I thought, well, I'll just let everybody see parts of it here and there. And but I'm not going to let you see all of it. Just a little bit of it until I show you the final. So this is going to be the fabric. This is the inside. And then this is going to be the same fabric that covers this spine. So let's get to the outside here and cover the outside. So for the outside, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to spread it with just an old card, and I'm going to start on what's going to be the front, and it's going to have book corners on it to help keep the corners of the box from getting all smooshy. Now, I add quite a bit of glue, but then I spread it out. So let's add some glue here, because I don't like my fabric getting all pushy, you know. So let's add our glue here, and then we'll get it all spread out. And I only do one side at a time. Come on, glue. It's a little cold this morning. All right, let's cover that up. Now I'm going to take my card, and I'm going to start at the top and make sure my glue's at the top and on the corners. And I'm going to smoosh all the way down and off the edge, because I would need to make sure that it's on the edge. So I'm coming off the edge like that. Can you hear it? I'm flicking off the edge here. And I want to make sure it's on the edge over there. Now I know I'm going to wrap it around, but I still want to make sure it's on the edge. All right. And I can see it a little bit through there. Oops. And then smoosh it down. On that edge real well. There we go. And then I can turn that out of the way. Let me move my little paper clip container out of my way. And then I can pull that back. Let's put those over there. And I know you're thinking, well, I don't know why you punched the holes. You haven't covered it yet. I went on and punched my holes on the inside because that way, when I cover this, I can take my awl and I can punch through with my awl and mark them for smaller holes for my needle, which is the one thing I need to pick up. And I don't need to put a lot of glue over here, just a little bit to tack it down, because this is going to be sewed in. So I just need a little bit of glue over here. And I can do the little finger smushy thing, you know, like this. Just enough to tack it in. That's all I need to do because it's going to be sewed here. So lay it over and smush it down. Make sure it's nice and flat. There we go. And scoot this out of the way. And now we're going to do this side. There we go. And now we're going to do this side. Now you could use any kind of glue for this fabric. It's relatively thin. I could use my Scotch Create glue stick. I could use double stick tape. You could even sew it down. A cereal box like this is relatively thin. You could sew it down if you wanted. Come on, glue. It's relatively thin and they sew easy. I just didn't want to sew it right now. There we go. My preference is this glue because I know it'll stick. And now once the glue is dried, I could come back and sew it, but I can't sew it until the glue is completely dry. And this glue I allow to dry overnight before I attempt any sewing on it. I don't want to mess up my needles or my sewing machine. So if you do decide after you glue it down that you do want to do some sewing, you need to let it dry 24 hours before you do any sewing on it. Allow this glue to dry completely, and I highly recommend 24 hours before you sew on it. You don't want to get it into your machine. Now your needles are easy enough to clean with some alcohol. It'll come right off. You know, just take them out of your machine and clean them with some isopropyl alcohol. But it's down into the workings of your machine that you don't want to get this. All right, so we're going to bring this over. And we're going to smooth it out. And I need to wipe my work surface off because I got some glue on it. We don't want any glue on their fabric. All right, let's lift this up. Move it out of the way. And I need to wipe the glue off here, so we're not getting glue on the front of the fabric. Okay. Let's get the glue off of the work surface. There we go. Oops. Now, I know I've been asked by one or two people to try to film going the other direction because it seems like my videos only show up in the portrait. in the portrait way when you guys watch them. And I've gone back and watched a few of them to see if I could make them go that way. And I've even looked into my settings to see if I could change them for you guys. And my Android camera will not allow me to change those for some reason. So I do apologize for that. But I'm not able to change that. Okay, here on the inside. Now you're looking at this and going, oh my gosh, look at all that interior fabric she's got. All right, so we're going to take our awl. We're going to poke through. I don't need big holes. I just want the little holes for the sewing. Okay, see, I've got little holes here that I can sew through with my needle. That's all I need. I don't need big holes. I just need holes that my needle will go through. Let me make sure that I've got them through the fabric here. There we go. Ouch. Be careful you don't poke your finger like I did. And it doesn't matter that this isn't perfectly straight because I'm about ready to cover it up. And this fabric that covers your center, it could be anything. Anything you want. It could be lace. All right, let's put this here. There we go. It could be lace if you wanted. Oops. I've covered mine with lace before. Okay, where's my... There we go. I don't want glue in my spine fold. You could put lace in there if you wanted. You could put just about anything you wanted in there. All right, so this is for my blue fabric. I didn't forget about it. All right, so what I'm going to do here, oh, I need to put some over here, don't I? I think I need another cup of coffee this morning. Okay. There we go. All right, let me put the cap on here so I don't volcano out. All right, so what I'm going to do is first, let me make sure you all can see what I'm doing here, is I'm going to smoosh this up off my corners, and I'm going to take my corner, and I'm going to bring it in. And I know you're thinking, wow, that is a lot. But that is the way that I like to do it. Now, this one is a little bit more than I wanted, so I will trim that one. And I think this top is too, so I think I'm going to trim that one. Let me wipe this glue off of my hands. Come on, you silly thing. Come out of there. And let me get my scissors. Yeah, I don't need quite this much here on the corner. Didn't cut that very straight though, did I? All right. Good heavens. Okay. We're going to do this one the same way. I would rather have too much, and I'll deal with it, than not enough. I don't know how many journals I have made and not had enough fabric and then had to come back and try to cover it up. Okay. All right, smush all this up and out. Okay, so I do this short sides first. Okay. Come across the short sides. Smoosh this down. All the way out to the edge. and then bring this piece up. And then I'm going to flip it around. And I'm going to do the same thing. And I know I cut enough that I know I have enough in my lining fabric that I can trim some of this off after I get glued down what I need. Okay. I know, I do things backwards sometimes. But if it works for you, you do it the way it works for you. Okay, let's get that down. Now let me get the glue off my hands. And let me put the top on the glue here so it's not volcanoing out. Okay, so on this side, I know this piece here is too long, so I'm going to trim it. I don't need that little piece hanging out so far. Okay, now I'm going to do the long edges. And I'm going to do the same thing. Except I think, so I'm not getting glue everywhere. I'm going to put the glue right here on the fabric. Yeah, I'm changing it up, huh? All right, let's smoosh it here on the fabric. And let's fold it up. And I'm folding it snug, but I'm not pulling it really tight. Like I'm not trying to pull it off of the other side. Okay, so I want to check this, make sure it's down, and I want to check this corner. Okay, this corner needs some glue. And I want to make sure it's down. Just like that. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it's too bulky on the inside. That's okay. I'm not worried about it. There we go. It's going to get covered up. Okay, I think I can trim this a little bit more. Here we go. Oh, skipped right over it, didn't I? All right, let's do this piece. This piece I know is too long. Okay, now we're going to put glue across the top. And then we're going to smush it out. Just like this. And we're going to make sure that those stay down flat. Then we're going to fold this over. And that piece that's sticking out there, we're going to cut off. Let me wipe this off here so I don't get any glue on the fabric that I don't want. Right there. Okay. And I need some under my corner here. Now, you don't need all this fabric to cover your book cover. You only need about a 1/2 inch to come over the sides. That's all you really actually need. And usually that's all I do. But this box was a thinner cereal box for some reason. I don't know what they're doing with cereal boxes. Why they're making them so thin now. But this was a thinner cereal box than normal. And I just felt like that it was going to need it here. So I'm hoping that it's not going to interfere. Okay, so that's what our cover is going to look like. So now we're going to add, oops, that's upside down. So now we're going to add our leaf fabric here on the inside. And it's going to need trim too. It's going to need trimmed on this side over here, close to the spine. Because it's too close to the spine. I don't want it so close to this area. Okay? Whenever you're putting your fabric in here, you don't want anything to interfere with the fold of your book. Okay. So in here, I do want it to cover this fabric right here. Oh, I need to wipe off the tip of the bottle here. Okay, I do want it to cover the fabric, but I don't want it to interfere with the fold of the book. And I want it to come right about here. Okay, so let's smoosh this out here. And we'll smoosh this out. Now, what I do is I take it to start with and I place it where I want it. Oops, get up there. And I make sure that it's where I want it before I continue. Because as long as the glue's a little wet, I can pick it up and move it. Okay. That's good. It's not interfering with my spine. And down here, I don't want it any lower, so I know I can trim this off. Now, you can wait until this glue dries and do this. Okay, just like that. That's how it's going to sit, okay? It's not going to interfere with the fold, and it's going to sit that far from the bottom. And then I'm going to do the same thing up here at the top. I'm going to decide where I want it at the top. I want it right here, and I'm going to trim across. Right there. Okay. Oops, I'm a little crooked. I'm a little crooked. Did you all doubt me that I'd be crooked? Did you doubt that? And don't panic if you cut off a little bit too much. There are ways to fix it. That's why lace was invented. Lace, paper. Things like that. That's why all that was invented. To cover up those boo-boos. There we go. Just like that. Okay. Now we continue gluing. And you see where you want your glue line. And you put down your glue line. Now, if you want a pocket in here, you can do sewing on this before you glue it down. So you could put down things like lace pockets, pockets made of different fabrics, things like that. And I'm squirting some glue in here to tack it down in there. Okay. Now, in this one, there will be a pocket across here on both sides of some sort. Okay. And once this glue on the cover dries, there will be, unless I can get them on today and not disturb the cover, which is a possibility. I might be able to do them. There will be corners. Corners will go on it. I put my signatures in after my cover is complete. That's when I put my signatures in. All right. Let's squirt a little glue up in here to secure this down. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on the back as we did on the front to make sure that this is where we want it, and then we'll trim it up and I will be right back. Okay, fabric is added and I have my Fabri-Tac. It's the same as this. This is what I've been using. That's what this is, but it's in a Sugar Belle Icing piping bottle. And right here are my book corners. We're going to go on and add some of those to the front here, to the front and to the back. Let's make sure. Okay, I think I want to put a little bit of glue here under this. Get down there. Right under here. And I'm also going to, before we put our signatures in, I want to punch a hole up here for my dangle that's going to hang off of here. And it will be easier to do, easier to punch before. Okay, I'm going to move this off screen, but what I'm going to use is my Crop-A-Dile Big Bite. And I'm going to use the 1/8 inch hole right here. And I'm just going to move this over here. I don't want to do it on my glass mat, but you'll hear it go thunk. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right up here at the top, so you'll see the hole here in just a minute. Okay, let's see here. Where's my awl? Where'd it go? All right, I want to make sure. Okay, right there's my. Okay, here. I'm just right off screen. I'm right here. I want to make sure I'm in the center. And I want to make sure that. There we go, right there. Okay, let me stand up here. There we go. Okay, so there's the hole right there. And we're going to add that little brad in there too before we add our signatures. We're going to put a little brad in there. So let's get out our little brads, the little bitty ones. And that way we won't have to try to do it before or after we get our signatures in. Let's see, we got a little blue one here. We have a little pink one too. Let's see how the little pink one looks. Let's see how the little pink one looks. Oh, there's the little pink one up there. But here's a little blue one. There's the little blue one. I think I'll go with the little blue one. Let's see how they work. Let's see how they work. Okay, so I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile Big Bite, and I am going to slide this all the way to the front. That's so it changes, and now it's going to set. Instead of punch, it's going to set. Oh, I have to flip this around. Come on, twist. There you go. And I need to turn this around. This thing is bigger than my hands, but I like it. Oops, I must not have set it right. Oh, I didn't. Here on the bottom. There it is. Goofy thing. And I keep the instructions here. Right here. These are the instructions that came with it. And it always tells you for the top you want an A. For 3/16 it tells you A1. So I'm using 1/8. And so I want to go with a, right here, this is my 1/8. So I want to go with a B3, or I want to go with a D3. So let's see what we have it set on here. So I have it set on a, and that's the hard part. I can never see. I have a B3, and that didn't work. So let's move it. Let's move it around here. Maybe it just didn't. Let's see if the D fits through the little hole. I think the D is too big. I think it does need to be the B. I flipped it too far. Let me see here. Oh my gracious, they print these so tiny. Okay, let's put these back in here. And put this back in the hole. Get back in there. Oh, get back in there. Come on. Trying not to get my head in the camera. But I still want to line it up here. Oops, I missed it. Nope, the D's too big, so I do need the B. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, I think it's too thick. I think it's too thick. We might have to go with one of the brass ones, because this little blue one, I don't think it's big enough. I don't know. We're gonna try it and see, but I don't think it's gonna be big enough. I don't think it's going to be big enough. I don't know. I may end up changing it out, you guys. Because I definitely don't want it popping out. And it just barely sits. Yeah, between the the support that I put on there with the extra cardboard, and then the 2 layers of fabric. It's just barely sitting right below it. See? So I might have to go with a longer one. And these little ones that are colors are really shallow. So we'll see. All right. So let's see here. Let's see what ones we like. I like the pattern on this one, but I think I want to go with, I think that one's too big, but I think I want to go with that one. So let's see if I have 4 of this one. Oh, here's a simple colored one. Let's see about this one. It's the same size. Oh, now that looks nice. Let's see if we have 4 of these. There's 2. Oh, that one's different. I think I need to restock these. Let's see about this one here. That one's too big. I want that one. All right, let's move these out of the way here till we get down here to the silver. There it is. Nope. Well, we may not have a choice. I don't have... Oh, there's 2 of them. Golly. Let's see about that one. Oh, no, that one's nice. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. Please excuse me. Oh, that snuck up on me. All right, I guess we're going with that one because I have 4 of those and I only have 2 of the plain ones that I liked. All right, so I guess I need to get some more of those. All right, let's move these out of the way. Let's move these out of the way. Okay. Now, to put these on, it's easy. You just take your glue and you just squirt a little bit of glue down in your, all the way down in the, and it doesn't have to be a large quantity because you don't want it steeping out, but you do want the glue covering the, I don't know if you can see, covering the metal area. So it needs to be a glue that will adhere metal to fabric. I use the Fabri-Tac glue because that will do that. And then you, on these books, I don't have to use a hammer. And then you push it, you put it on, and you can just squeeze them closed like that. You just squeeze them closed. Now, on hardback books that I make, I have to use jewelry pliers, and I use a little hammer to tap them into place. There we go. And I have to use jewelry pliers to make sure these are all the same. And jewelry pliers to close them because the hardbound books are a little bit thicker. Okay, so again, I'm going to put the glue on the inside. Okay. Make sure this is the same size. Yep. And I'm going to put this up here. And then from the back, I'm just pinching the back closed. See, I'm just pinching the back closed. Right here. You just pinch it closed. These little things right here, right here is what you're pinching. These two little grips. This is what you're pinching closed. And you make sure that it stays snug against your corner. And you might have to hold it for just a couple of seconds so that it's not floating out. Now, if it's a thick corner, then you will probably have to hold it for longer than that. Okay. Okay, there's that one. And you can take your baby wipe in and wipe off any glue that comes out, because you don't want your glue coming out on your fabric. There we go. Oops, I don't have glue on this corner. Let's get this corner glued down here before we do this. Golly, I missed a whole strip area, didn't I? Let's get this down before we get that down. Okay. Now, if you're gonna put corners on, you need to put them on before you do any type of decorating on the back, if you haven't already sewed. Like, I haven't sewed on this. So before I do any decorating on this area, I need to go on and get these on. Because if I don't and I decorate, then these could interfere with my decoration. Like, if I'm going to put a belly band here on the back, I need to know where these are going, because these could interfere with my belly band. Does that make sense? Like, if I'm going to put a belly band back here, like this, I need to know to stop in a certain area so that these don't interfere with it. Okay. Now, I've got them on. Now, I need to come back and make sure my fabric is glued everywhere. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now this is where we're going to sew in our signatures, and I'm not putting my signatures in right now because I'm going to be putting some lace on them. I'm going to be putting some other decorations that it's just easier to do before I put them in. So once I get that lace on them and I get those other decorations on them, then we'll be sewing those signatures in. So this is our book so far. Oh, let's get these strings trimmed off here. This is our book so far. This will probably be multiple videos, so just keep an eye out for it, and you'll see the title that says Giveaway Journal, and this will be the one we give away at the end of the month. And like I said, you probably won't see the whole process, but I will show you my process of sewing in the signatures and some decorating that I do, and I will show you the signatures. So here are the signatures that are going in. This is going to be in the middle. These are my signatures, and there's going to be some lace on the edges of some pages, and then they're going to sit right here in the middle. I know it's going to look kind of weird because of that, but they're going to sit right in here. Oh golly, I just might have to add a couple more signatures. And then there'll be some paraphernalia that'll go with it. So whoever wins this will have an opportunity to decorate, because the decorating in here will be light. This will be a decorator's journal. These need trimmed. Yep, these are going to have to be trimmed to fit in here. Oh, my gracious, yes. These definitely need trimmed. I thought I had trimmed them. Well, these are going to have to be trimmed, so I will show you guys that process in another video of how I trim these to make them fit. I thought I'd already done that. So I'll show you guys the process of how I trim them and how I make them fit in here. And then I just wanted to thank all of my subscribers for helping our channel grow here at the Ladybug Journals. You just don't know how thankful I am for everything that you've done to help us grow. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have watched and watched over the last 2 weeks that our subscriber count has just exploded. And you guys, oh my gosh, you just make my heart so full and so happy. You just don't know. So thank you so very much. So if you would kindly continue doing that, this journal right here is for one of you guys, as a thank you for everything that you have done to help us do that. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the Ladybug Journals. You know how to do that. It's that little thumbs up. And feel free to leave a comment. I try to get back to all comments within 24 hours. And thank you for all the comments that you leave. They're very appreciative. And please try to keep comments kind. You know, everybody has a different way of doing things. Oh my gosh, you guys, you just overwhelm me. And until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.